Part 1. Ghostly whispers. Whispers in the abandoned ward. Darkness swallowed the echoes of footsteps, reverberating through the deserted hospital corridors, more distinct at night than ever before. Young journalist Emma took a step into the mysterious hallways of an abandoned hospital, investigating its secrets. The wind rustling through the rusty doors of the forsaken clinic rooms added a soft crunch to the atmosphere. Emma's hand touched the rusty chain of an old lamp, revealing pale shadows. In that moment, the silence of the hospital gave way to the dim moonlight filtering through broken glass. The silence felt as if it harbored whispers echoing from the hospital's past. The sound of footsteps echoed in the corridor as Emma explored, her eyes capturing the decaying beauty of the abandoned space. The first floor left corridor was one of the most chilling areas of the hospital. It was filled with shadows from a forgotten time, racing against time itself. As Emma delved into old patient records, the clinics appeared not only deserted, but also trapped in a forgotten era. As Emma's breaths quickened with each step, her eyes fixated on the entrance to an old ward. The door was slightly ajar. Stepping inside, an old wheelchair moved on its own. With a sudden creaking sound, Emma's heart raced, but she continued with determination. As the night progressed, the hospital walls were illuminated with a faint white light, almost like a portal summoning shadows of the past. Emma advanced toward an abandoned ward at the end of the corridor. This place had once been filled with the screams of patients and the lingering vibrations of forgotten memories. Upon opening the door, Emma was greeted by an overwhelming silence and an internal whisper. Her mind was flooded with stories of old patients. This ward had once been a place where patients screamed and left behind forgotten memories. Emma wandered among abandoned beds in the ward, and the shaky sound of an old radio caught her attention. The radio resembled a therapeutic device used by a lost patient years ago. Amidst the frequencies of the old device, Emma heard a peculiar whisper. The sound seemed to come from lost, abandoned songs, merging with the forgotten whispers of the past patients. Emma listened carefully as the whispers intertwined in the silence of the pre-death rooms. Suddenly, pale lights appeared in the corner of the room, and the shadows of the past surrounded Emma. The shadows embraced the broken walls, and the atmosphere intensified around her. The whispers of the past patients started narrating stories, merging with the silent atmosphere of the pre-death rooms. In respectful silence, Emma stood amidst the ghostly whispers. Throughout the night, this paranormal experience in the abandoned ward told the story of a journalist bravely listening to the ghosts of the past and narrating forgotten tales. The ghostly whispers in these deserted hospital corridors were once real-life stories of patients who had endured pain. Part 2. Shadows of the forgotten. The midnight hour filled the hospital corridors with a sudden, haunting scream. Emma's heart raced as the light dimmed. The semi-transparent figures of the surrounding ghosts emerged by the abandoned beds. Emma wanted to delve deeper into the ghosts of the past. The ghosts seemed ready to share their forgotten memories, wandering through the desolate hallways. Suddenly, a hand reached out from the shadow beside an empty bed and touched Emma's shoulder. In that moment, Emma's body froze. The cold touch on her fingertips conveyed the traces of the past. The ghost spoke with a faint voice. "We stayed here, trapped in a forgotten time. Have you come to hear our memories? When Emma heard the ghost's question, she responded without hesitation, "Yes, tell me. I am ready to listen to your stories." As the shadows of the ghosts roam through the abandoned rooms, they shared emotionally charged memories. Much like the whispers Emma encountered in the first part, each whisper reflected the broken tales of patients who had once endured pain within these rooms. The first whisper resembled the mother's cry, narrating the painful story of a lost child within these walls. Another was the restless lament of an elderly man, haunting the afterlife with regrets he left behind. Emma realized that these ghostly tales were not only poignant, but also filled with injustices. Patients narrated the pain they suffered due to doctors' decisions and the neglect of hospital management. As the stories came to life in Emma's mind, a large shadow appeared in the middle of the room, causing the light around it to fade even further. The shadows converged, gathering in the corner of surgical rooms that left imprints on the walls. In the midst of the shadows, Emma was determined to uncover the source of this hospital horror. The memories of the ghosts would unveil the dark secrets of a forgotten past. Part 3. Echoes of Redemption. Emma stood amidst the shadows, determined to unravel the final chapters of the hospital's haunting tale. The ghosts continued their whispered confessions, leading her towards a revelation that would shatter the silence of the abandoned ward. As the ghostly narratives intertwined, Emma sensed a surge of energy in the room. The shadows, once mere echoes of the past, now seemed charged with a purpose. The light dimmed further, casting an eerie glow on the spectral figures. The next whisper carried the weight of a collective plea for justice. The patients spoke of a forbidden wing, hidden surgeries, and the malevolent force that still lingered. Emma felt a chilling realization. The hospital's sins were not confined to neglect, but involved a sinister agenda. Determined to confront the malevolent force, Emma followed the shadows to the forbidden wing. The air thickened with an otherworldly energy as she approached the sealed entrance. With a hesitant breath, she pushed the creaking door ajar, revealing a chamber steeped in darkness. In the heart of the forbidden wing, a spectral figure materialized, the embodiment of the hospital's malevolence. It spoke through the echoes of tormented souls, recounting the forbidden rituals conducted for power and immortality. Emma, guided by an inner strength, confronted the malevolent entity. The room pulsated with an ominous energy as the spirits of the tormented patients rose in support. The final confrontation unfolded, echoing the desperation of those wronged. The malevolent force resisted, unleashing a torrent of haunting visions. Emma felt the weight of the hospital's sins pressing upon her, yet she stood firm, determined to break the cycle of torment. In a climactic moment, Emma uncovered an ancient relic, an artifact tied to the malevolent force. With unwavering resolve, she invoked a ritual of redemption. The room quivered as the spirits of the tormented found solace, and the malevolent force began to dissipate. As the last echoes of the malevolent force faded, the hospital fell into an unsettling silence. The shadows retreated, leaving behind a calm Emma and a transformed ward. The spectral figures nodded in gratitude before dissolving into the ethereal. Emma emerged from the forbidden wing, carrying the weight of the hospital's history. The abandoned ward, once filled with whispers of pain, now radiated a newfound peace. The haunting tale of the hospital concluded, and Emma, the unwitting medium, became the catalyst for redemption. The sun began to rise, casting its warm light on the now serene hospital corridors. M exited the abandoned ward, leaving behind the echoes of redemption in the hallowed halls. The hospital, once a chamber of darkness, stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit against malevolence.